How do I stop ruining my chances with attractive women? You'll make a fool of yourself until you get good at it. It's like that for almost everyone. It takes practice at failing. Relevant PFP. If you can't believe that they would be interested in you, then neither will they. You're thinking about them as a beautiful object to be put on a pedestal. They're same as everybody else. Even better, I stayed friends, briefly, with someone I put on a pedestal after she caught onto the lopsided interest and pumped the brakes. I slowly found out, while friends, that behind her stunning face and body, she has raging anxiety and depression, and arguably an addiction to casual sex. It's crazy how much she pumps and dumps under the guise of looking for a LTR while maintaining her FWB in another state, and even crazier how much of this info she divulged without me even asking. She told me she was broken on our first date, but my raging hard-on was blocking my ears and better judgment. I simultaneously regret ever meeting her, yet feel bad for her, and thankful that she pumped the brakes early on, so I could mostly dodge the bullet. I learned my lesson at the ripe age of 31. Don't ever put anyone on a pedestal. BC sometimes they're a 10 and a doctor who shits even worse than everybody else. My experience was a lot less crazy, but very similar. In high school I asked out a girl that was absolutely stunning, like 10/10ths, way out of my league. Well, she said yes, but I ended up fumbling because I put her on a pedestal. I'd get all nervous and insecure because she was so pretty. Well, later, I found out that she was actually super insecure too and had low self-esteem. This 10/10ths in my mind was actually the exact opposite in her mind. And if I had simply just acted normal around her, we probably would have worked out. That's a regret of mine. You're playing high stakes now at least. Eventually you'll win. Yeah, Rob should practice on girls he's less intimidated by before trying to level up. But the girls that are less intimidating you aren't as attracted to. Not only is it bad for practice, but also you're kinda leading a girl on. I see what you're getting at, but having regular friendly conversation with any women is how you naturally develop the confidence and skills to hold a conversation. Period. I talk to girls and women whenever possible, but I don't flirt if I'm not attracted to them because I don't want to lead them on. That's like saying you'll eventually be able to drive a supercar around a racetrack full speed because you've driven a ton of Corollas. What have you noticed that occurs when you fumble? Are you constantly messaging her all day without having any plans of meeting up or being too attached? One thing I learned was that if you are in the stage of getting to know one another is to not waste all your time messaging back and forth on the phone. Save your convos till you arrange an actual date with them. Women love to converse, but if you're constantly messaging all day and they feel like you don't have anything going on but to reply, they get bored easily and find the next attraction. Discipline yourself from wanting to reply back all the time. Keep some distance, but stay relevant enough that they don't forget about you. This varies woman to woman. I recommend asking them what they want or need, rather than guessing or treating them like they're some other woman from your past. Some women just love drama and they get bored easy. Those are the ones to F and chuck, cause long-term mess with those is hell. Learn to think of meeting women as secondary to whatever you're doing. For example, if you're out at a bar, focus on having fun first and then impressing women second. Socialize with everyone and try not to focus on one girl. If things are going well, tell them you think they are gorgeous and ask if they wanna go on a date sometime. Get their number and then go back to socializing with everyone. If you strike out, it doesn't matter cause you're there to socialize and laugh first and maybe get a number second. I also find a good trick is to remember you might not end up dating the chick you're talking to, it could be one of her friends instead. So it's good to stay at a friendly/cordial level until you know them better. I have had a few women I was interested in introduce me to their friends because they think we would be a good match. Be a safe, friendly guy. Don't pursue women. It can come off as desperate. This is a baller take. Remember, as much as guys focus on making sure the girl likes us, we need to also make sure we like the girl. The people who appear confident built it up over years. You don't pick up a guitar and shred it right away. You have to earn it, and the earning it is the rewarding bit. Same with women. The losses and the struggle make the payoff even better. Some people out there been banging nines their whole life like no big deal. Definitely intimidating dating higher up in the scale. How do you behave around less attractive women? Do that. Additionally, consider broadening your dating pool if you're struggling to even talk with the most attractive women around you. If you're struggling to make conversation, you're probably not gonna feel very secure when you're dating them. It's better to be with a woman you're attracted to and can connect with than just someone you're attracted to. Pretend they are just people and treat them exactly the same as any other person. You just have to keep doing it. The best way I learned to think about it is this: every rejection I used to get got me closer to the woman I'm with now. Also, don't worry about all the hot girls. You just need one good one. Focus on your fitness, your finances, and just being able to talk to people in general, and they'll be coming to you. I know this from experience. Another thing you have to consider is that super beautiful women are generally going to be more entitled and inflexible. I'm not blaming them. They've had guys putting them on a pedestal since they were 16. I'm just saying you should consider that they're not all they're cracked up to be. I think the best way to a beautiful woman's heart is by making her laugh and telling her no once in a while, because you know no other guys do. Act like you've been the worst advice in my opinion. I think a better way to put it is to have zero expectations. Speak to women because you want to speak to them, even if it's just because they are cute, but do not expect to receive anything or an outcome to happen. Don't worry about getting her number. Don't worry about a kiss or her going to yours. Just speak to her because you can /r/want to. This leads to less overthinking, disappointments, and fumbling. They also get a better glimpse at your genuine self because you aren't actively trying to get into her pants or want it to happen at the end of the conversation. Don't worry about it. Just keep cycling through them till you click with the right one. I've been with a lot of women and fumbled many a times. It's just part of life, my friend. When the right one comes along, you won't be able to fumble her if you tried. Stop putting the P on a pedestal. Hot women are still just women. Just because they're hot doesn't make them any more special. And if they give you attitude, trust me, I don't want them around. Legit. Attitude is a red flag. The less you care, the better off you'll be. I'm not an expert, but I think I've learned something really important about it. Have you ever heard about the self-fulfilling prophecies? Well, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. My advice is believe in yourself and make sure to be present. Don't hurt but listen. When you do, interactions get better. The key to confidence, in my opinion, and this has worked for me, is indifference. Try to convince yourself that you don't care about the outcome, and you'll be a lot more relaxed and more like yourself. Just pretend she's one of the guys. Lol, trying too hard to be funny or cool is what causes the fumble most of the time. So don't worry about dropping any lines you wouldn't usually say. Be yourself and don't overthink. Be yourself as opposed to question mark. Cause I can all but guarantee that Op is wholeheartedly believing that he is in fact being himself. Practice makes progress. Just act normal. Lol. If that were the case, there wouldn't be any singles at all. It's all about the mindset. It appears you don't have that right one, and so many other men. So don't beat yourself up cause it's not going to help. It's going to be a long streak of self-sabotage cycle that never ends. Instead of doing that, strive to be one with yourself. Your body, as well as your emotion, has to completely agree with your mind. They have to be aligned. Right now, it's not. What's happening when it's not? Your mind wants to be the best version of yourself. Specifically the one who feels he deserves to be with a hot woman. But your body doesn't. And your emotions don't cooperate too. So your whole being is in conflict with one another. Get rid of confliction within yourself. I like that. Treat them like a human instead of an attraction. It's crazy but it works. Make more platonic girlfriends that happen to be hot. Be great friends with them and actually care about them, as people will be a lot easier to recognize that all women are just people instead of an opportunity you can't F up. Down to shots of tequila. but not 3. Gotta loosen up without getting sloppy. Be calm and just follow the hottest lead sometimes. Don't overthink stuff. If she's there for a date and it's not by the hour, you damn man. Just be yourself. Trying to be something you are not will just take longer to fail. Relationship. Fake it till you make it. Stop verbally mentioning anything of how lucky you are. Let them give you more compliments than you do. This only way you gonna stop your insecurities from displaying until you become a confident man. Insecurity shows in many ways. Meditate. Learn to be okay with yourself so that you can stop overthinking. When you overthink, you aren't you. When you aren't you, how can anybody want to get to know you? Hot girls are just like any other girl. Everyone is just a person. Looks, wealth, ethnicity. It only holds the importance that you place on it. And at the end of the day, none of those are actual personality traits or anything that tell you anything about a person. A pretty woman could be a piece of S narcissist, just the same as a poor man could be, or mix match that adjectives, and any personality type is possible. This is poorly phrased, but I think I communicate what I'm trying to say. One of my bosses noticed I would get nervous on big tours with VPs and executives and once told me, just remember, they are people, just like you and me. I know, so short and so blunt, but it really hit me. So in your instance, yay, she's a hot girl, which in itself is subjective, and she may in fact have a different appearance of the world, but at the end of the day they just want what you want. Those hot girls just want a confident man who is probably funny, also at least somewhat good looking, but if you're snagging enough hot girls to have this problem, then you probably have that one covered. Be confident. Become interested in who they are, not what they look like. Eventually you may meet a woman who likes who you are, but in the meantime place effort into meeting the person, and less into meeting the image. There are a multitude of beautiful female psychopaths. You are dodging bullets, my man.